Well, technology has changed because people don't need to have really so much hardware. You know, you don't have to make a lot of money to be able to get a used computer on eBay and crack programs and crack software and do the track as best as you can and upload it to someone's website and, you know, offer it as a free download, and next thing you know, you're being played on Pete Tong's show on Radio 1, and that's that. You broke.
In the past, you had to book a studio and you have to pay like, I don't know, £2,000 a day for the engineer with the massive desk. And now you can just do it on your laptop, you know, you just buy a software for 200 quid and start playing around with it. And yeah, it has allowed a lot of people to get in that game. And I think a lot of people have a platform to become creative and do what they like, if they like to do that, obviously.
I think the whole technology is way better than before. Like, you don't have like buy like a lot of equipment to like actually make a good track. Everything is digital nowadays, and you don't have like to afford a lot of money to like actually buy a professional studio. It's just everything is digital, and you can come up with like a really good track. Even like a lot of guys are just using crack programs, I can say that, but like it's good to see that people just come up with great music just by being inspired from other guys. And you know, it's all about the ideas. In the end, you can have like the biggest studio ever, but if you don't have the inspiration, you're never ever gonna make that hit record.
Before, it was quite hard to get a record out. You had to get through to certain people and get people to invest money in you. Now it's on the one hand democratic, because absolutely anyone can, you know, you can afford to make records at home on your laptop, and then you can get them out in the marketplace and like literally immediately.
And because of the easiness to make music, the people are starting to I can hear if somebody spent more time for a track or not. So to make it like this. So I wish that the people trying to be more original.
When I was getting into it, I was already kind of doing things in the way that people do stuff now, i.e. just using software. I mean, probably the biggest development of the last few years is that you can basically make tunes and play them in the club that you've just done on your laptop on the flight or whatever, you know, like people, increasingly, a lot of people that I know, people like Sonny Skrillex, for example, does a lot of his writing just on the road in hotel rooms, and that is something that you couldn't really do when I started out producing. You know, laptops were like, you know, not quite quick enough to do any of that stuff. So
I mean, the most exciting thing for me anyway is just being is getting into the actual production thing. Obviously, you know, I'm a DJ at heart, but getting into the production thing at the right time, elevated stuff, because things have changed where you could have been a technical good DJ and you know, and blow up from that, but things have changed now. You have to produce your own music. You have to do something a little bit different to stand out now, and I was lucky enough to get onto the production thing 2004.
I picked up the future by spinning with Tractor. Native Instruments delivered me what I need, which is I can't carry records anymore, because it's not that they are heavy or bulky or something. It's about you travel that much to different places with different airlines that sometimes your luggage just don't arrive, and you cannot do this to the fans. I keep the turntables and the mixer. That's what I learned. This is where I come from, and but I'm not against the future. So I introduced digital files to my collection, and like we said before, technology changed so much, but the market changed so much. We're talking here about a proper market now, you know, a lot of money, big headline and big OS stages, stadiums, arenas, and everything is going fast.
From playing vinyl to going to CDs, from CDs to USB to Tractor, it's like something else is always around the corner, so you've got to be on it, and you know, literally you've got to be on it, otherwise you're going to get left behind.
After DJing for quite a few years, I decided to sort of try and take things to a different level with these live shows that I do. So I do a show with a big light production, but what's kind of most interesting about it, I think, is some of the equipment that I've been using for it. We had these motion sensors custom built for the show, which basically allow me to control some of the synth sounds by moving my hand around in air, so I can control the pitch of the sound, or the tone of a sound, or bring a sound in, just by like moving my hand in air. I've also been using things like iPads, which are great because they allow the whatever you're controlling to change. You know, whereas it sounds kind of basic, but whereas old you know, keyboards and MIDI controllers and stuff, they have a set number of buttons. But like on an iPad, you can suddenly, if you want to change the bar divisions, you can have 16 instead of 8 buttons, or you know, it's an adaptive interface. So that's a really, really cool development as well.
I've never minded laptops. You know, a lot of people are complaining that people are not DJing. They're complaining with me when I play because I'm not using headphones, you know, but if you know your records and Serato and stuff like that and Ableton, you definitely don't need to DJ. But it's not about that. It's about creating a vibe. It's about creating. You're a tastemaker, you know. You're picking music that's gonna carry the night. It's a performance. It's an entertainment, you know. People don't die in movies, you know, but that doesn't mean it's not a good movie.
One of the main things about DJing was we were the ones who had the records. We knew what they were called. We knew where to get them, and we bothered to kind of get them. Now everyone's got access to it. So the DJ's job is quality control. It's piling through all those thousands of tunes that are out there and finding the good ones.
Coming from a vinyl background, including working at record shops for over 10 years before I actually became an international DJ. I don't know, there's something missing, and then there's something you're gaining at the same time. You have easy access, direct, you know, you buy, you get right there. You know, before you had to go to the shop to look to records, you spoke to people, you spoke to the people selling you records, you actually spoke to other DJs, and they would give you records to be like, oh, if you like this, try that. That sort of element is missing, you know, it's just a little bit too programming, click, 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 and whatever, you know?
It was record buying. That's what it was. It's like we would meet, me, Kenny, Jazzy, we would meet like in Philly, and we'd go to these 45 shops, and we was being down in basements, pulling out 45s, running to the little turntable, listen to it. Oh, that's dope. That was Stacy Lattisaw, that's the original, blah, 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 you know, and just going through little nicks and knacks, like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, that's Babyface, he was in that group. Like, you know, it's like, you just start finding out things, you're reading credits. Even iTunes, I'm mad at them because you don't see who produced and played on the record, on the credits. That's so bad, because then you can't find the connection of what's really going on. So that what I did in the last 10 years is I put my name on the front of the record. It would be Todd Terry all the time now, because I had to do that, because I couldn't use Black Riot and Orange Lemon to make it more obscure and cool no more, and that, because I had to let people know, yo, it's me, you know. Like before, it was cool to like, oh, he produced that, that's cool, you know. But I had to change that in the last 10 years, which is crazy, because digital just wouldn't, they don't give you enough information. I still love digging for records, blogs, internet, vinyl, whatever it is, you know. It's fun. It is fun.
On the downside, it's made the music a little bit more disposable. Before we would cherish a piece of vinyl and worship it, and now we kind of just download this, download that. It's kind of goes in one ear and out the other. So yeah, the quality's gone down a bit, but the worldwide access to music it's got to be a good thing.
The market value of music has become very low last couple of years, because you can put out a record and people will be like, okay, cool, when's the next one out? But you know, when I grew up, I went to the store, you know, I was like 13, 14, maybe 15 at that point, and I got a vinyl. I loved that vinyl. I played it for years. I appreciate it so much that when it broke, I went to buy the exact same vinyl if I could find it. And I think the whole mystique with the white labels and the whole mystique of people not knowing who has produced one record and where does it come from. You know, we were like, okay, they use this sample, so how do we find this? Like, we could go on for weeks to find one record, and then like a trip to Black Market in London, and we were like, okay, so this guy played a record, and we started singing it in the store, and they're like, yeah, it might be this record, you know. So I think the whole mystique with it disappearing a little bit.
I can tell you probably about 20 DJs that worked at one single store in Chicago called Gramophone Records. It's still open today. Derek Carter was there, Mark Farina used to hang all the time, DJ Heather from Chicago, we used to work Sundays and everything. Miles Maeda, Rafael Rosario from the old school. Like, there were so many DJs from Chicago that they were just at that one store, and it was really the core of house music in Chicago. And I used to buy a record for $1.99, white label. It's a beautiful thing, man.
This is Toolroom 10. A decade of hits brought to you by one of the world's most influential dance labels. 100 definitive club tracks mixed by Mark Knight. Featuring deadmau5, Todd, David Guetta, Tiesto, Underworld and many more. 100 tracks, 10 years, one iconic label. 10 from Toolroom Records. Available on iTunes now.